What do you think? What do you see as the future of British gardening exporting? Who wants to go on that one?
Yeah. There's great scope for the future because there are so many markets out there. There are so many. The world is a changing place, and I've been working in exporting for 30 years, and I'm constantly meeting new types of retailer. Obviously, the whole internet and e-commerce side of the business is something that's completely new, and there are all kinds of generalist e-commerce retailers, but also lots of special niche people who are maybe focusing on ecological products and that kind of thing. So there are always new companies appearing on the scene. The garden centre sector still remains to be strong and gets more diverse over the years. It's moved on a lot from the days when garden centres were little more than nurseries that maybe had a bit of growing media and basic tools and things. They've now become destination garden centres, and that obviously also brings in all kinds of new product areas that can be sold in garden centres. And many of the overseas markets develop differently and focus on different sectors. For instance, in France, the garden centres will also offer a lot of pet products, whereas in Scandinavia the focus is still very much on nursery and nursery-related type products. And that's what we try and do at GardenEx, is try and help our members to understand where the potential markets for their products might be and what kind of areas to focus on.
John, the future for Haddonstone on exporting?
I think there are always new markets opening up. I think the British garden industry has influenced the world, and whereas some countries are catching up with us and entering into competition with us effectively, I think there are places like South America and Africa which potentially in the future could be significant markets for us.
Good.
Yes, I think two things. Firstly, in developed countries, there's an ageing population, more people in retirement, and these people are likely to have their own homes and more often than not a garden. So that's an ever-growing potential customer base. Second thing, generally there is a wider acceptance now of green issues, and the idea of looking after the environment is gaining pace everywhere. So these are sort of two real plus points for the future of people trying to sell into the garden market.
And Debbie?
For the future with regard to Bosmere in particular, it's definitely the sort of product we sell are very easy to sell on the internet, and we find we're getting approached by more and more internet-based companies who have a strong web presence and all sorts. And therefore that's actually changed the way that we do business in some of the ways, because instead of having smaller orders, you're getting larger orders. We don't drop ship, don't do direct deliveries to anybody, so we are sending in bigger orders to cater for the internet type buyer basically, because they are ordering in larger quantities than the smaller garden centres, and it goes back to your distributors and how they're actually distributing in the countries that they are based in. So I think the internet basically is a very, very strong growing market, and I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more about it.